And hello fellow Techers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today I bring you a couple of replays on map Malinovka, and today we're going to show you very aggressive plays on this map and what I like to do in either light tanks or medium tanks. In this situation we're going to be in Centurion Action X tier 10 British medium tank, and the first game will be from east spawn and the second game will be from west spawn. So you're going to see each side and how I play these maps. So the aggressive play that I'm gonna make here, it will be aggressive spotting play in position D6. Now usually in order to make this play, guys, first of all you need to have a little bit of skill. You need to have a little bit of 1v1 skill, be able to take your opposition 1v1, because if you don't, obviously if someone YOLOs you like a light tank, you need to be able to take him out of the game. Second, you need to know your micro positioning. Like right here is a very difficult cross. As you can see, this leopard puts a shell into me, but I'm able to take only one hit from him and I'm gonna cross over into this position here. Now, this aggressive position is fantastic. Let me repeat, fantastic if you have support from behind. And as you can see, I have zero support from behind because my team decided to go either one flank or the other flank, but completely forgot to support the middle of the map, which is a problem. I only have a light tank supporting at this moment, which is ridiculous, to be honest. When you guys play on this map, there's gotta be always someone supporting the middle. Position where light tank is, position F7, is really good, but you need to be sure that you stay unspotted at all times, especially if you have a spotter like myself or somebody else in this location. And you need to provide support if the tank that's spotting, like where I am here, so it doesn't get YOLO'd by a light tank or medium tank or even heavy tank. In some situations there's a bunch of tanks that I will YOLO you here in this position. So I'm taking very big risk right here, but I was hoping that my teammates are going to support me from sniping positions on our side of the map. Unfortunately that didn't happen. So now there's a problem. Why? Because I can't really escape from this position, and at this point if I get YOLO'd, I'm probably dead. I'm really dead. So this position, guys, can only be used if you have support. But the problem is you need to get into this position quickly, early in game, when the opposition is not in positions to shoot at you. And sometimes you don't have time to make a decision or see if there's going to be any TDs or tanks sitting behind and supporting you from F7, for instance. So it's a risk-based decision, and in many cases, actually more often than not, this play doesn't work because of the situations that I just described to you. But you know, every once in a while you have to figure out early in the game whether this is something you want to do or not. Now when I'm playing in platoons, this play works almost every time, because if you have 2 or 3 guys on your team, well, 3 guys is probably optimal. You could have 1 guy going into this position and then you can have 2 guys supporting you from sniping positions, right? So when you play solo, it's your decision, guys. There's so many better, safer plays on this map that you don't actually have to do that. But if you can make this play work, it's so rewarding. You're gonna get shitloads of assisted damage. You're gonna get some induced damage as well. And because it's a high risk play, it pays off more often than not, to be honest. Anyway, I'm surprised that these guys actually haven't YOLO'd me. Like this medium tank on my left hand side, he's been sitting there pretty much the entire game, and by this time he should have recognized that I'm here all by myself, really. The only tank that is supporting me is that heavy tank at H6, so at least I'm glad I have him, because if I didn't have him, I would definitely be YOLO'd here in this situation. Anyway, so this light tank decided to go for it eventually, but we put a shell into him right here, and we're playing close to that hill on the left hand side so that he has difficult shot right there, and now we should be able to take him out of the game. Just like that, we take him out, and now we're just gonna, again, we're gonna try to poke our head to see if we can spot something. All of a sudden we spot this object 777. That's not the tank we want to see. Now I see this medium tank coming over the top, and I thought here they're definitely gonna YOLO me right now, but they're not doing it, which is quite strange. But I'll take it. So we're gonna back off. We're gonna try to get closer to 1 and 2 lines so that we can be closer to our friendlies. And at the same time, we're going to try to hug this hill on our left-hand side so that we don't get hit. And we're going to continue backing up right here. Yeah, to be honest, guys, I don't know how I survived this. I should have been dead probably midway through the game already because of really no support in this situation. But it paid off. I mean, that's what happens in this game every once in a while. Our team had really no business winning. We basically gave up the entire control of the middle, and our tanks kind of stuck around on the outside or edges of the map, which is the worst thing you can do. But I don't know, it somehow worked out. Anyway, I keep getting spotted over here, so we're gonna go back in the middle and we're gonna take our fight in there at this point because our team pushed over already. They're already capping, so maybe we'll be able to catch these guys from behind. And that's what I was thinking. So we're gonna catch this guy first. That object, we're gonna try to put some shells into him. And for whatever reason, I don't know if he stopped playing. He must have stopped playing over here because he's not moving. So 3 damage, we're gonna take that. Why not? So we're just gonna drain him over here. And then we're gonna move towards the middle of the map so we can take care of that. What is it, Leopard or is it Centurion Action X? I think it's a Centurion Action X. Yeah, Centurion AX. So we're gonna go after him. And then once we get ourselves in a central position in the middle of the map, we should have shots across into that heavy tank that's currently on the K line. So in this instance, actually, our team didn't win the hill. Most of my team pushed through the south and we were able to win this game. Most often than not, you will not be able to win this game if you don't push the hill. So we were actually really lucky in this game that we ended up winning. But we finished on top of the team. Not a spectacular result. Again, I'm showing you these plays so that you can see what kind of maneuvers you can make on these maps so that you can get aggressive spots, maybe get some damage. And these are usually plays that win game if they work out. Okay, let's now skip to the second game. And as promised, this game is from the opposite spawn. So we're spawned on the west side. And we're going to make an aggressive play into position E7. And yeah, it's basically the same thing except from this side of the map. So I'm going to try to put myself in the same position as I would from the other side of the map. Now, that position here is a little bit more exposed because if you're sitting there in E7, as you notice there, I'm clicking on there because I'm telling my team that I'm actually going there. And in this situation, I looked at the team distribution and I noticed a couple of decent players on our team. So I'm like, okay, you know what? If I tell these guys that I'm going into that position, they will likely cover me. So I decided to make that play. And the key over here is to get into the position unspotted. And the only way to do that is you're just gonna have to boot it. You're just gonna have to boot it straight from your spawn directly into that position. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a low ground over here because the opposition tanks are still getting themselves into position, right? So I'm hoping if I use low ground, I can get myself into this position unspotted. That would be key. And as you can see, I have a lot of tanks, a lot of support from behind right now. Like all these TDs and heavy tanks setting up in positions C5, D5, so on and so forth. But what I was mentioning earlier, this position is a little bit harder to play because if you look on the opposition side of the map, the buildings at J-line, these buildings are problematic because tanks that are sitting between those buildings will have shots towards this position. As you see here, there's very little cover from those buildings right there. So if they decide to shoot at me, they can actually hit me in my turret, especially if you're in a tall tank like this one. Centurion AX is a relatively tall tank, so they're able to hit me. But watch my micro position. I'm trying to stick to that hill on my left hand side as well as I can and negate that shot. Here we spot this T110E3, so hopefully you're gonna put a shell into him. Unfortunately that bounces. We didn't put that shot where it needed to go. But anyway, we spotted him, so hopefully we can get some spotting damage right there. And we're gonna poke up. Defender spotted right now. Again, we just poking up. We don't want to engage, right? We don't want to lose any HP. With the spotter for our team, with the eyes for our team. So last thing we want to do is poke out too much and get annihilated. And this E4 gets hit by our artillery and he gets smoked. So I'm already sitting at 2.8k damage, assisted damage, and we're gonna continue doing the same thing. Just poking up, poking up. Let's see if we can spot some around here. Oh my goodness, so many of the guns sitting here. I didn't even realize that, how many of them were sitting there. But we spotted 3 tanks. So we're gonna slide back into cover right now, and hopefully our friendlies are gonna take care of them. Now you can see this Chieftain T95 is actually gonna try to push me. But that's a very bad play on his part, because he will be able to put 1 shell into me, but all my friendlies sitting in the back are just going to annihilate him. And that's usually the case. If you're sitting here and you're covering yourself pretty well, the opposition will try to YOLO you, take you out of the game, without realizing how many guns is facing them. Now here, unfortunately, I got stuck on that rock on the left-hand side, and my tracks were spinning, and Artie is able to put a shell into me. That's quite unfortunate, but we managed to get out of this situation. Now we're gonna poke our head up here again on this side of the map, and we can't see anything. Well, we spot this guy here, and he's not paying attention to us, so what we're gonna do is poke over and just hit him. Like auto aim and just hit him. Side of the tank, we should be able to just put the shell into him. As you notice there, I'm just taking pot shots. Whatever I can get. That's all I'm trying to do at this point. Now he's gonna YOLO me. Again, he gets taken out by our friendlies. Now this guy probably is going to YOLO us. Yes, he does. We put a shell into him. And now we're gonna face hug him. He's a tier 8, so we shouldn't have a problem. He's got a small alpha. We should be able to take him out of the game. And we do. And we still remain in this position. So as you can see, if you can play smart here, don't overexpose, stay hidden, and just poke out every once in a while, get your spots, you can have a good game here. Defender here, can we put a shell into him? Yes, we can. We take him out of the game. And just like that, we're just demolishing the opposing team. That's how good these positions are if your team is playing to the middle. Because it changes complexion of the game completely. Someone's still shooting at me from the right side, so we're just gonna back up here, and we're gonna see if we can spot anything in the field. Right now we won the hill, as you notice there, so I don't have to worry about the hill. I can just move forward, keep this guy spotted, hopefully get some more assisted damage. Bottom plate shot doesn't come off, just don't have enough pen for IS-4 from this angle. So now we're gonna just push up and try to get some final damage. But as you can see right now, we're sitting at what, 4.7 assisted damage, 4.7k, 2.8k induced damage. Not a spectacular number, but the assisted damage is nice, which brings combined total to about 7.5k combined damage, which is quite nice already. But yeah, I mean, guys, those plays work when you have support, but it's really hard living, to be honest. I know there's such saying, in order to, get your damage there, because assisted damage is good for a 3 marking, for instance, if you're looking for combined damage. But if you're looking for an ace tanker, for instance, for nice mastery game, that's not going to give you a nice mastery game, since your induced damage, or in this case my induced damage, is so low. Now we climb up to almost 8k combined. Very nice game. And if we get to those kills at the end here, we can bring our result even higher. So let's see if we can do that. But it looks like our team is completely running over the opposition, so we can't really get any more damage out of that. But those 2 games served their purpose. I showed you what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you those aggressive positions that are very intriguing and can change the complexion of the game if your team is smart enough to support you out of those positions. And yeah, we ended up with a very nice game here. Like I mentioned, almost 8k combined damage. But if you notice in a split second right here, it's only class 2 game because we didn't have a lot of induced damage. Which is quite unfortunate, because spotting damage seems it's not getting rewarded as much as induced damage in this game. Especially if you put yourself in a position where you're spotting pretty much everyone on the opposing team, and everyone on the opposing team is trying to hit you, and you end up with class 2, it's a bit discouraging. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit checking out.